I was helping out with the orientation of new seminary students at Boston University, and we were going around the room having each person tell their story of why they chose to enter seminary. This one man made a comment that made us all give him a really funny look. He said, "I'm here for the magic powers." He continued, "My first master's degree was learning about magic, but this master's degree, I'm learning how to do magic." What? Magic powers? Really? So I think the collective look of confusion made him explain. He told us on how he saw that weddings and child blessings and relationships were magic. In a wedding, people become bound together in a new and special way. In marches and in movements, faithful people can change the law. They can change public opinion, and they can change the world. Magic happens in ministry. Some might even call it miracles. That individuals can grow and develop. That communities can form and provide strength and healing. But what about that other type of miracle? The type that my dad asked me about quite a few times. For all that I've learned about religion in the Bible, did the miracles really happen? It's a timely question for a time such as this. Because this morning's first lesson in magic comes from miracles. Tomorrow night is the beginning of the celebration of Passover. Passover is the Jewish holiday that celebrates the flight from slavery in Egypt in the hope for a return to the Promised Land. There are plenty of miracles written about in the Scripture, but also a little bit about magic. The plagues that hit Egypt related to magic. Well, at least as the story goes, as each plague would hit, the Pharaoh would ask the court magicians, "Can you do that? Do you have the power to turn the Nile red, or to cause the sky to go dark, or to cause these plagues of locusts?" And they would say, "Yeah, that's just magic tricks." So some would say that the Pharaoh's faith in magic made the plagues and the plight of Egypt worse. But Moses had magic of a deeper sort. Since if he only caused the plagues, there'd be no nation of Israel. If he was only able to speak to God, but not to lead, the Israelites never would have made it out of the wilderness. If he was only able to command, the people would have rebelled and perished amidst the wastes of Sinai. But Moses' true magic was that he could form people into a community. The Hebrew Scriptures tell us many tales of how wild and unruly this crowd was, how they would make golden calves to worship, and they'd gripe about wanting to go back to Egypt because at least there they had food. But you spend years in a desert wandering around and see if you're any more happy than they were. But Moses was able to be with them, to make them into a people. They were no longer just slaves of an oppressed land, but he had to help them loose the shackles on their minds that were just as real as the shackles that used to be on their physical bodies. They were a pilgrim people wandering around in the wastes, not only in search of a home, but wandering to find themselves. And Moses led them. And they led Moses. And it was magic. At the end of the time of the people wandering in the desert, it wouldn't have been enough had it only been a giant cloud being the icon of some sort of god. It wouldn't have been enough to only have arks containing scrolls of law and of teaching. Even the manna that was growing up from the ground to feed them wouldn't have been enough to hold them together. Spectacular signs and displays of crazy, new, powerful things aren't enough to keep a community together. Because for the lengths of years, for the lengths of generations, it takes relationship for a people to be a people. So our first lesson in magic tells us that magic happens in the midst of people, because it takes magic to get people to really be together. Some would say it takes a miracle for people really to be together. For our second lesson in magic this morning, I want to share a story. The story is a lesson in enchantment. How with a little bit of effort, you can light up a spirit. How Unitarian Universalism can charm and delight. How ministry can both enchant another, but also enchant the one doing the enchanting. The story is about Bill the pizza. I met Bill not long after I started here at Reading. Aileen and I had accompanied our senior high youth to the Ark Halloween dance. I knew it was going to be a stretch for some. Well, I think our congregation is better than most at inviting folks with special needs. It still would be a new experience for some of our youth to be going to a dance with special needs folk. So I wanted to model that good active engagement. So I put on a fantastic ghost outfit, silver wig, face makeup, top hat. And we went into the gym of Parker Middle School. And there was this one gentleman in the corner who started staring at me. And as the dance continued, he kept staring at me. So finally I took some of our youth up to go speak with him. And since we all wore name tags, I saw that his said Bill. I said, "Hello, Bill," and he started looking at his feet. Painfully shy gentleman. Yeah. "Bill, would you like to come dance with us?" And we took his hand and we brought him to the dance floor instead of him being in the corner at the wall. And he started dancing with us, and he started to smile even though he kept his eyes on his feet. And through the night, he danced with us. And when his mom came to pick him up at the end of the dance, she took several photos of the two of us together, and as he was going, he said the only words he spoke all night: "I like ghosts."